see a sucker suit on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Well, welcome to Capital Region today. I'm so glad you're joining us today. We have a great lineup today. I'm so excited because we have an opera singer on today, and we're going to be hearing from him. I just heard him in sound check. He's wonderful. We also have the Old Songs Festival. We're talking music, right? Music. We're going there. And a little bit more music because we're going to the Juneteenth celebration coming up. They're having two events. One is going to be at Vale Cemetery. The other is going to be in Central Park. It's not on the holiday because they wanted to get it on the weekend, so we're going to be talking with them as well. We have scheduled the Schenectady County Historical Society. They have not arrived yet, but if they do, we'll get them on the show. Richard Zazycki is here from the Circles of Mercy, and they're having a gala coming up, and I love the Taste of Mercy is their name of their event, so that's going to be really great, and I hope that you're all surviving all this smoke coming down from Canada. This has been pretty tough on everybody, so maybe by the time you're watching this, it's maybe let up a little bit, but I really worry for the people that are in Canada and they're getting the full brunt of all this smoke that's coming down. We're going to start out with Opera Saratoga. I do want to mention that they will be appearing at the Schenectady Civic Players on June 11th. So, but that said, I'm going to take it right over to Mary. Mary's the director over here. The artistic director, you're everything, right?
Thanks. Yes, I'm the general and artistic director, which I believe covers everything.
Everything. Good.
Thanks for having us, Anne.
Yeah, and who did you bring with us?
So I brought right behind me the amazing Trevor Haumschilt-Rocha, who's a baritone, and the incredible Laurie Rogers, who is our head of music staff and also the director of our festival artist program at Opera Saratoga.
Yeah, and you have a number. So let's have him
We
give
do.
us
Okay.
a taste of the music. Can you tell us what music this is?
I'd love
or
to.
Or would you like to do that, Trevor?
Well, we can argue over it, but I'll start it and
Okay.
then I'll pass it over to him for a synopsis.
Sounds
So Trevor's character, Dr. Malatesta, in the opera Don Pasquale, which is our opera that's opening on July 1 at UPH in downtown Saratoga Springs.
Beautiful space.
It's an incredible space. Trevor's character, Dr. Malatesta, is singing Bella si come un angelo, which is beautiful like an angel, and in order to convince his boss, friend, colleague, Don Pasquale, the sort of elderly, miserly bachelor, that he has just the woman he wants him to marry. Trevor, any words about the aria from you?
I'd say it's just a fun aria where I'm over-exaggerating many things about, it's almost like a scheme that we're doing with Don Pasquale, so I get to have a lot of fun with this song, and I hope you enjoy it.
There's a lot of expression, because I did see a piece of it, and it's like there's just so much expression on your part because you're kind of like doing everything, right?
Oh yeah, I get to schmooze and have as much fun as possible on
And
stage.
this originally is a duet, isn't it? Because your boss,
Yes.
Pasquale.
Yes, I'll be singing to Don Pasquale in this piece.
And
so.
he has some little interjections.
And you could be Don Pasquale.
I could be Don Pasquale, or you could be Anne. That would be so fun. What are some of the examples of the things that you're selling him? Like, what
So
are you
I'm
saying
telling
about her?
him that she's beautiful like an angel, she's fresh like a lily, she has the most beautiful hair
Ebony.
in the world.
Yeah,
The hair is
exactly.
beautiful as ebony, perfect. You even know the translations. It's great. But yeah, it's a beautiful song, and I'm excited to share it. So,
Okay, good.
let's
Take it
do it.
away. Take it away.
Thanks, Anne.
Bella si come un angelo in terra pellegrino, fresca si come un giglio che s'apre sul mattino, occhio che parla e ride, sguardo che il cor conquide, chioma che vince ma no, sorriso incantator, sorriso incantator. gente ingenua che se medesima ignora modestia impareggiabile bontà che innamora ai miseri pietosa gentil dolce rosa il ciel l'ha fatta nascere per far beato un cor il ciel l'ha fatta nascere per far beato un cor per far beato un cor il ciel l'ha fatta nascere per far beato per far beato un cor.
I have to ask you, Trevor.
Yes.
Is English your second language, or
No, English is my first language, actually.
I'm only kidding.
I
Because
wish.
you speak Italian, so how did you learn that, or did you?
So, in my schooling through my undergraduate degree and now my master's degree at Juilliard, I sing in both. I sing in English, Italian, French, German.
German, okay.
I'm bilingual in English and Spanish as well because my mom's from Mexico.
Okay.
So picking up new languages is
Yeah.
just a fun thing for me.
Because
So,
I mean, when you've got to learn the lyrics
Mm-hmm.
in Italian, and then you got to learn the pronunciation. It's
Mm-hmm.
like amazing.
yeah, it's definitely. I used to do musical theater, and it was all in English, and it was great because I knew exactly what was happening all the time, and it was easier to learn things. But with opera, you have to fully be a part of the character by knowing exactly what you're saying, and having that intention is like what makes opera theater and makes it interesting. Because when you know what you're saying and you know what's happening, and you know what you're conveying to the audience, it's just much more enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah, because first of all, you have to learn how to say it in Italian, but you got to know what the Italian means.
Exactly.
And that's what you're saying, is that you have to
Mm-hmm.
be able to express the right thing, the
And
right
then-
mood at the time.
And then,
Exactly.
we all have layers of meaning underneath what we're actually saying. So after you do the translation work, you think of what is the subtext underneath? What is the
Exactly.
base
What is he
human
really
need?
saying?
What does he
Yeah.
need, right?
Yeah, because you could say these words, but that doesn't mean that exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're always sort of approximating with language.
Yeah.
But there's something really wonderful about an actor who says something, but there's something behind the eyes as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and it's beautiful. I have to say this, and this is done as a duet because Don Pasquale is also responding to you in
Yes.
some of the things.
Yeah, so this is taken from a scene. We actually just staged it yesterday in our rehearsals, but we're going to be playing around a lot, and Pasquale is just going to sit there and listen and hear how beautiful this woman is and how perfect she is for him. When in realization, we're just playing Don Pasquale at the end. So it's-
Yeah.
Trying
It's a
to
fun-
get him to convert his will into something that his nephew can inherit.
Oh, this
Exactly.
is one
By
of
tricking
those
Commedia dell'arte.
devious,
Yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
It's one of those
devious.
crazy comedy.
It's
And
a Cooney rom-com, basically, at the end of the day.
We have a keyboardist with us also,
Laurie
and I do
Rogers.
want to acknowledge that you've played very beautifully with him, and it must be kind of difficult in a sense to learn the music and realize that you've got to stop at times to let him do his thing, right?
Thank you so much. And a lot of playing opera is playing like an orchestra. It's not playing like a pianist, but playing as an orchestra. I'm also a conductor, and so I know from bel canto style where you have to stop and wait for the singer, let them go on and breathe. You have to breathe with the singer. When I hear him start to go and I go with him, that's all part of the mix. But hopefully we sound a little bit more like an orchestra and less like a piano.
Yeah.
And Laurie,
you-
how often have you played Don Pasquale in your career?
Well, I look in the front of my score. I keep track of how many times I've done it. I list the productions in front, and I think this is my fourth production.
Okay.
in about 20
And do you
years.
play for the entire opera?
I'm
or
not
do
the,
you
I'm
have-
not the principal pianist on this opera,
But there is someone.
There is. We do have a pianist Our rehearsal pianists are prepared to play the entire score, top to bottom.
Wow. And
Yes.
how long is, I mean, think about this. So how long does this?
2.5 hours.
It's a tradition. It's when we do these big, long piano rehearsals, once we get into the theater and we have a big, long piano stage rehearsal, you do have to play all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, for
Wow.
that, and you do something like Salome, which is 90 minutes, but it's the most intense 90 minutes you're ever gonna play.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
it's-
amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
You have to be so
Point.
talented to be
And-
picking out
and
the different sounds. in
So
your
this
show.
is the first of your trilogy that you're doing, right?
So-
You're doing three
Yeah,
of
we're
them.
doing 3 shows exactly. So the one on Sunday in Schenectady at the Civic Players is The Selfish Giant, which we were here about. You had us on the show.
Yeah.
And then after that, Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which is a Broadway musical, that opens at UPH.
And
on
that
June
is so
30th.
funny.
It's so funny. Did you see it? In
Yes,
the electric
I
bus?
saw it when it was here.
When it hears, yeah. So it's a beautiful like madcap dash through Edwardian London. Very, very fun.
And you're going to do that at UPH?
At UPH too.
Okay,
So they're
good.
running in rep at UPH for
Okay.
7 shows total.
Okay, good.
And then 2 performances of The Selfish Giant in the morning, the kids show, for
Okay.
free.
For kids.
For kids, exactly, for families. But this particular production has 3 performances, and they're between July 1st, as I said, to July 9th.
Uh-huh.
So you can catch them all on our website at www.operasaratoga.org.
Okay, and they can get a season
You can
ticket,
get a
or you
subscription.
can, yeah.
You can also buy individual tickets
tickets.
starting at $27.50.
Okay.
We're trying to encourage opera for all, and that opera is a thing. Just like we all felt the sort of resonance in the room when Trevor was singing, that will really move you literally from your seat.
How many are in the cast of Don Pasquale?
5
5.
singers.
Five,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's a lot of singing for all of us. It's a lot of fun though.
And there is actually a special walk-on role by a longtime Saratogian, which I won't ruin. but it
Okay,
will
you're
be
not going to give
hilarious.
us the.
I think
you
it'll be
got to
very
go to
special.
see that.
Yeah, you got to come to see.
Yeah. So this is, I love what you do.
Thanks,
I
Anne.
do love what you do
Thank you.
because it's bringing a joy of music that probably a lot of people aren't really familiar with. I know I went to an opera at, I think when it was a SPAC, and I was so thrilled because they had the translation running across the top, and it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, we will definitely have that at UPH. It's sort of, we want to make it as accessible as possible.
Because people want to know what is going on
Oh my
here.
gosh, you can't be
I mean,
without
we
that.
appreciate we love your music, but I'd like to know what you're saying,
Yeah, I think that's the.
But
great
you don't
thing.
want to do it in English because it doesn't have the same feel.
No, yeah, and doing it in the original language is really what the composers intended, but then you get to understand, if you have the translations up there, you can follow along and be along for the ride just like anybody in Italy would be. So,
Yeah.
Can you talk about the virtues of singing in Italian? Like what makes that a great language for singing in?
I think just the open, beautiful vowels of the Italian language make it so easy to express and have this legato line through the text, and it makes the voice sound as beautiful as it can. That's why bel canto is one of the most gorgeous
It is.
art forms
Yeah.
there is in music, and it's exciting to sing for me. So it's Italian just enhances what I already can do with my voice.
Well, thank you, because I'm Italian and I love to hear that. Yeah,
Intentional. That was all
I grew
intentional.
up going to my now this is true story. So my grandfather and grandmother would go to their house, and my grandfather on the second floor had a Victrola. A Victrola, I think that's, with
Yeah,
the big thing,
the cranky
with the big
Victrola.
thing on the side.
Yep.
And he always had the opera. Always played opera. So I kind of grew up in my grandmother's house listening to opera. And, and these were peasants. I mean, my grandfather was a peasant. He came here as an immigrant. And yet he had such an appreciation for opera and music.
Well, I think drawing the link to what, is sort of a more pop culture thing for right now, it's just music theater. It's theater for the people. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be popular. Like you say, that's exactly how it's supposed to be appreciated.
Well, like
So,
Mozart did the buffo, how do you pronounce it?
what do you mean?
The opera that they did for the people, Mozart. He did.
Opera buffo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it's called?
Yes, but Mozart didn't do that. But
Oh, he did?
no, but Singspiels, like theater,
Singspiels.
like music
Oh,
Oh, I
theater
thought he
pieces.
did that. Oh, no.
No, but actually Donizetti did. This is an opera buffa.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
so
okay.
there,
Yeah,
this
okay.
is like a commedia
I don't know why I
dell'arte,
thought
traveling
Mozart did
players.
that.
Yeah.
Amadeus Mozart.
There are opera serias and opera jocosas and magic flute is a Singspiel.
This is Singspiel.
Yeah.
The one he did in the Turkish thing with the Turkish
The
thing.
abduction from the Seraglio
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
drama.
Well, it's different because it's got set pieces and the dialogue in between.
Yeah.
Like a Singspiel.
Yeah, a little bit like a
But but drawing the line, as Mary said, it goes right into Gilbert and Sullivan. It goes right into
Yeah,
today's.
that's what I mean.
Broadway.
It has that kind
Makes
of
that
a-
line straight through. Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's something really nice about the continuum from Don Pasquale to Gentleman's Guide for Love and Murder, which was written in 2012, to The Selfish Giant, which was written in 2021 post-COVID.
Okay.
So, you know, post.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
yeah, so-
Well, you've got to
something
get
for
your
everybody.
tickets. It's if you want to see something in Schenectady, you go to the Schenectady Civic Players on the 11th, and it's there, and it's a free performance. So please enjoy that. If not, go up to UPH or to any other place that they're performing because they want to get the music out.
Thanks,
Yay!
Anne. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And Trevor, you've got one heck of a voice.
Oh,
there.
thank you so much.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. And I wouldn't have appreciated it if I hadn't seen one on YouTube that wasn't so good. I'm
I
sorry.
appreciate
We're gonna. Okay, thank you both, all three of you for being here. We're gonna switch over to old songs, which is traditional music. It's not opera. I don't think you do opera there.
Not currently.
You never know. You never
never
know
know.
what's gonna happen. That's true. So, are you all set with your lineup? I mean,
Oh, we are. We quite are.
it's coming up in June 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
Yep, 23rd to the 25th at the Altamont Fairgrounds, and it's going to be spectacular.
Always is. Well, how many years is this now?
43rd. It's the 43rd festival.
And has it gotten bigger or has it gotten more? Tell me how it's changed from
Well,
the first
it's-
one, but you weren't there for the first one, probably.
Not the first one, but I was there for the last 35 of them.
Okay, well,
So-
tell me how's it changed or has it?
Well, the artists change from year to year.
Sure.
Some stay the same and some come back after a period of time. The community feel of it has not changed. It's still very much a community. In the volunteers, we have 400-something volunteers.
400.
Some of them are 4 generations working together,
Oh,
which
my.
is really wonderful. We love having all the various parts of the family working together, and the kids who grow up and become a junior volunteer, and then they become a full-fledged volunteer. And it's great because you can't do a festival like this without those volunteers. So it's a family-friendly festival.
Do
with
they bring their campers and hang for the weekend or what?
Some of them do. We have camping. Some people camp out. We have campsites. We have RV sites. Any number of things, and of course the local hotels. And there's food on the premises. We have a bunch of food vendors who have been coming for years, and we have a couple of new ones this year. So there's plenty to eat and plenty
Okay.
to do. And
Now,
crafts
is this a
vendors.
3-day festival?
It is
And it starts when? On a Friday night, is that it?
Friday afternoon.
Friday afternoon?
Yeah, the doors open at 1, and this year we have an expanded Friday afternoon program, including, we've always had classes and various activities, but this year we have some performances as well, which we haven't had in the past.
Okay, so that's the 23rd, then Saturday all day,
All day till
and
1 in the
Sunday is all
morning.
day.
Yep.
Good. When, have you had an increase in performers or has it been stasis?
It varies from year to year, partly because of who is available, who's touring, et cetera.
I can't imagine the scheduling that you have to do to make this work.
Well, we have over 150 events, so yes, it is a little crazy.
I can't believe it. I mean, it's like, so do you have, when we talk about traditional, let's talk about traditional music. Does that mean it's bluegrass? Does it mean that it's folk? Does it mean, what is it?
Yes to all of the above.
Okay.
It encompasses a whole range of music, and from ballads that are 400 years old to bluegrass to everything in between, and world music. We have often had groups. Last year we had the Gambian griot from Africa, and they were absolutely fantastic. They were supposed to be there in 2020, and they were finally able to come last year, and it was just brilliant. We were focusing last year on music passed down through the generations. And we continue that this year, and we're going to continue it well into the future.
Are you looking at ethnic, or, I mean, could they be, I know traditional means, I think of American, but when you mention the African music, I mean, when you listen to, what is it, the Black Mambaza, group.
Ladysmith.
Yeah, Ladysmith, Black Mambaza. That music is thrilling, you know. It's not our traditional, but it is their tradition.
It is, when we say traditional, we talk about traditional from every culture that we can have, where they have traditions of music. Not everything at Old Songs is strictly traditional. We do have singer-songwriters who write in what we call in the tradition. Some singer-songwriters, their songs sound like they're very, very old, and they're not. They're very new in some cases, so it's great. And this year we also have a new Area 11, which is a demonstration and learning area of a group of museum professionals from Connecticut who are going to teach sailor skills, like making ropes, teach how the different fibers.
I wish I could learn how to make knots. That's all I want to do is learn how to make knots.
Come and they'll do that too. That's
Yeah.
one of the things, knot tying.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, because I see people tie a knot and it's like, oh, and it slips. Wow, how do you do that?
That's a slip knot.
Yes, well, I know it's a slip knot, but I can't do it.
Sometimes you don't want a slip
No,
knot.
you don't want a slip knot unless you're being hung, or I guess maybe you'd like a slip knot.
But we have performers of all ages. It's really terrific.
It's something for the kids.
Plenty for the kids. And we have a family activities area. We have a family stage, which this year is being run by one of the musicians. There's working with clay. We have lots of arts and crafts activities.
Oh,
for
do you? That's
kids.
good.
Yeah. And Roger the Jester, who will delight and entertain the kids.
I know who that is. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you have now. Do kids get involved with the music, or do you just have them do hands-on stuff?
Great Groove Band. It's something for kids from 5 to 18, and they get 3 days of practice with professionals who teach them. It's also a chorus, so it's a Great Groove Band and chorus. So bring your voice, bring your instruments. 3 days of practice, and then on Sunday afternoon they do a concert on the main stage.
Oh, that is
so it's great.
Oh,
It's wonderful to watch.
You're talking about bring your instruments. I know that at one time I tried to build a dulcimer, so don't even ask me how that went, because I think I still have the parts. But anyway, do you have any classes as far as building instruments? And because not all of these are available just right off the rack, but sometimes it's fun to build your own.
Sure. This year we don't have any instrument class. We do have many classes where you can learn how to play instruments, and often, for instance, the drumming class, which happens every year, the drum circle, they bring extra drums so people can try them out.
Nice. Yeah.
And that's been a staple at Old Songs for many, many years.
And there's so many different kinds of drums. I
Yes.
had no idea there were so many. And the most recent one that I learned about was the box.
Yes.
And I had never seen that before. And I had a group actually play, and they used a box. And I'm going, what's that? Well, every time you hit the different sides.
And sometimes it's the one you sit on. And
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's what they were doing.
I
Yeah.
think it's called a Conn.
I don't know, but I never,
Sure.
it was like something new that I saw. Now I know you do the old songs and you do the big festival, and that's what we're promoting today. Is that all you do? That's
no.
a leading question, in case you didn't
You
notice.
No, it's not all I do.
No.
And Old Songs does a lot of things as well. They do
Concert
the Black
series,
Creek
too, yeah.
Fiddlers reunion. We have a concert series, and then personally, I do other music events. I'm also a performer.
I
so,
know. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the fiddlers, did that happen already?
that was already last
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, tell me about that. Just out of curiosity, give us a recap.
It's a much smaller, intimate weekend of people who get together and jam. That's
Okay.
the crux of it.
Okay.
There are workshops, but they're minimal, and it's just
So it's
people
just
having
a
good
fun
time.
fun
Yeah.
weekend. Okay.
Sure.
You have a concert series. Is that still going on, or is that going to start up in the fall?
Starts up in the fall in September with Joe Newberry and April Furch, and goes on through December.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, that you have that, and it brings out. And where are you located?
The building itself, where the concerts are, is in Voorheesville at 37 South Main Street, And it's an intimate setting, 199 seats if you want to get technical, fire code.
Give or take one.
Give or take one. And it's a great space. It's wood floor, and the interior is wonderful. It started out life as a church, became a library, then a restaurant, then Old Songs came in.
And you brought it into a flourishing space because you dance there too, right?
Yeah, we do. We had our first one since the pandemic in April. So it was very successful. There were 40 people, which is good for that space.
Do you have a membership, and is that something that you'd like people to join, or would you just like them to come out and see us?
We don't have any membership.
Okay.
But we do.
You're a nonprofit.
We're nonprofit, and we do accept donations.
Okay.
So yes, but come on out and come to the festival. It will be a grand time.
And they don't have to come for the whole festival. They can come for one day here and one day there, right?
Sure, you can come for one day here and there, and most performers are there for the whole festival. There are a couple who are only there for one day, and the schedule will, well, I'm not sure what it's going to say on the schedule. It's up online now, festival.oldsongs.
It's probably a work in progress, even to the last minute, because you never know if somebody gets just delayed, or their plane doesn't come in, or you don't know.
That's always a possibility.
Yeah,
Last
yeah.
year we had 5 performers who got COVID, and we had
Is
to
that what they did? Oh, okay.
shift around. So
Well, at least they didn't come and spread it, so that's a good
true.
thing.
That's true.
We've been talking with Joy Bennett. She's the executive director of the, and artistic director as well, I believe, of the Old Songs. They've been around a long time, and I know that for years I've heard about them and been to some of their events, and they're always so much fun because they have the energy behind it, and that's the important thing, right? Spread that music.
Absolutely.
We did an opera, now we're doing a little something else. Music is it,
It's a
right?
tough act to follow.
I know. I think we might be talking about drumming in the next one. Not sure, but who knows, right? Okay, thank you so much, Joy, for being here, and I hope you have a great turnout. I
Thanks for
really
having
do.
me.
Yeah, thanks
All right.
again, and I love what you do. So anyway, and we're gonna turn my chair just a little bit around, and here we are. Hey, good to see you, Miki, and you brought a gentleman with you.
Yes.
Hey,
How you doing?
hi, very good. I'm doing good, and you're with Community Fathers.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Juneteenth. It's a holiday.
Yay.
Yes, isn't that great?
Yay.
Yes. And Miki has been working tirelessly for I don't know how many years. I should have gone back to see how many years you've been coming on the show talking about Juneteenth and working to make this a holiday somehow. And we finally got it recognized. I think it was last year, right, that it got recognized.
Yeah.
So Juneteenth is coming up, but it's a 2-day celebration, and you're still leaving the 19th open for other events that people might be doing in the community.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Tell us about it.
So we always have our celebration on the weekend, whenever the weekend closest to the 19th falls. And this year, it's the 16th and 17th, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
And Kenneth is here to talk about the Friday program. The Friday program was initially conceived as a recognition and homage to our ancestors. And the program is of a more serious nature, an educational nature, and a recognition of the ancestors. And I'll let Kenneth tell about
Okay.
that.
Mhm.
The Saturday program is more celebratory and is an opportunity for us to showcase local talent, local accomplishments, to bring in people when we can, when we have enough money to bring them in.
Okay.
And every year we add in some new things, drop some old things that have gotten.
Well, you kind of get a feel for what's working and what maybe you need to skip a year
Right,
with things.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Vale Cemetery, let's talk, well, because Kenneth, you're involved in the Vale Cemetery, right?
Right.
Yeah. And I know that Walter has done this for years as well. So tell me about what you're doing at Vale Cemetery. I went to that one event, or I've been to that event, and it's it's an emotional event. For me it was anyway, and I'm sure it was for everyone that was there. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
All right, so I'm not too sharp with history,
So I wrote a couple things down.
Okay.
So the African American Ancestry Burial Grounds is at the Vale Cemetery. Before it was at the Vale Cemetery, it was a small plot on Veeder Avenue. Now, our Vale Cemetery is located at 907 State Street. The cemetery was opened in 1857.
1857. Well,
Yeah.
that was like, yeah, that's, so you got Civil War there too? Yeah.
So there's a lot of history in that cemetery. It's about 100 acres. And in 1863, a lawyer named Alonzo Page, he purchased some plots there and some space in the cemetery. And in that space, he buried people, and he exhumed people from the old plot that was called
The one
colored
over on
plot
Veeder.
that were on Veeder Avenue.
Yeah, okay.
And he put some of those people that had passed away in the new space, which is now the African American Ancestral Burial Grounds.
Okay.
So amongst some of those people was a guy named Moses Viney. He's an ex-slave. He came from Maryland, I believe. And again, I'm not too much on history, so I'm just, reciting.
You're working
some
your way
things,
through it though, Kenneth.
Yes, that I researched. And he met a guy, again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Eliphalet Knott. Maybe that's who they named Knott Street after.
Could be.
Possibly.
Could be.
I don't know. He became close friends with Moses Viney. He hired him as a messenger. He became his confidant and a close friend. So when Moses Viney died, Eliphalet, which he was the president of Union College at the time, he put he buried Moses at this particular cemetery.
Was it now the cemetery was segregated at that time? Was that correct?
I believe so. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was. There was like one area that was segregated. Yeah. No, those were the years of segregation, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's wrong.
That's what we're celebrating.
Yeah, that's what we're celebrating actually. So then go ahead. I'm sorry.
So
Kenneth.
now that brings me where I no longer need my notes.
Okay.
So I'm the Assistant Director of Community Fathers, a not-for-profit organization in Schenectady. Our mission statement is to rebuild the community a father at a time. So we have programs for youth, we have programs for fathers, and we're pretty much just like a hub or an assistance, a group to help people in the community to network. And we also do a lot of partnerships with other local community organizations, mostly grassrooted. We get a lot of help from bigger organizations in Schenectady. And fast forward to Juneteenth celebration, the Moses Viney, who I was just talking about, Brother Walter Simpkins, who's our Executive Director of Community Fathers, he portrays.
Yeah, I know he does. He does a
Moses
beautiful
Viney.
job too.
So to me, the celebration is to, I'd say, put a spotlight back on the history to let people know what went on in our country, to let people know that there was a bigger picture, but a small part of that was just something as simple as, people being buried somewhere else, someone feeling like they should improve where they were buried at, bring them to a different site, and the site being once segregated, the site being a place where colored people were not buried, and giving them a better place to rest. So in this Juneteenth ceremony, Walter plays Moses Viney, and he speaks on the history of Moses Viney, and it is again to enlighten people and to let them know of what was once going on in Schenectady. So
And elsewhere. Yeah, but Schenectady is the focal on
Right.
this. Yeah.
So there is people that come and play drums. There's people that pastors and evangelists that come to speak words on the history, and it's to be thankful and to be appreciative because the country, the people, everybody has been through a lot, And a lot of those things are forgotten. And to kind of, shine some light on the history. And for me, just let people be grateful to see and to know what we went through as a country and what we're still going through today. And to have remembrance of those important people that were buried there, such as Moses Viney, that came from, being a slave to, freeing himself through a connection with the Underground Railroad, to come to Schenectady, to meeting the president of Union College, to, having a friendship. And then that friendship, I believe he ended up, working and having his own business through his relationship and his hard work. And then a little tongue tie, but that's pretty much the gist of it.
No, I think that it's all about remembrance and appreciation for what the people went through at that time. It was not easy for them at all. It's not easy now, but it was terrible for them because there was slavery. And which brings us to Juneteenth.
But first,
West.
the Friday program ends with an ice cream social.
Oh, the
I
ice
almost
cream. I
forgot.
love the ice cream
Almost,
social.
that's an important part.
Yes, it's very important. Stewart's has always been a partner with us, and it's usually hot around that Juneteenth day.
Yeah.
And Stewart's, they come out and they bring gallons of chocolate, vanilla ice cream, all the toppings that you can imagine. And the kids, the adults, everybody just that are out there and they're listening and they're participating in the program, they're able to make themselves a Sunday.
And it's important, I think, to bring the children out.
Yep.
Because
Very important.
because it's very important for them to see it's history. If we forget history, we're going to repeat it. So we got to keep remembering those things.
Yep.
So what is June 16th? June
16th, Juneteenth.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, so Juneteenth,
And how did it
Got
get
it.
its name?
I was just about to say, got its name because historically on June 19th, 18 something, the date goes out of my head.
That's
but-
all right.
But Major Gray was sent to Texas to tell the slaves that they were indeed free.
Well, this
Now-
wasn't this like they were free, but Texas was a holdout? Was that it?
Yes.
Okay.
Texas acted as if they had not heard the news.
Well,
And-
communications, you know how that was then. They probably used the Pony Express.
So, we know that everyone, in fact, knew the Emancipation
Right.
Proclamation
The
had been
Lincolns, yeah.
made, that the slaves were free, but they were forced to continue living as slaves until this announcement was made live and in person that
Oh, they had to actually go in there and
they
knock
had
on
to
their
go
door?
there and say that this is from the President of the United States. It was Abraham Lincoln.
So what was the length of period? Or
So it was
maybe
about 5 years that
5
slaves-
years?
Yes, yes.
Talk about holdouts.
And the interesting thing is that because they knew that it was coming, and they knew, when I say they, the slaves knew that slaves elsewhere
Were free.
were free and living as free people.
And they couldn't even leave the state to go to a state
Right.
that was free.
Right. So one of the first things that happened, in addition to just celebrating on the day that the news was given, which was June 19th, people went to find their loved ones, their children who had been sold to other people and other
Oh, my gosh.
places. Their people
Yeah, I
that
know.
they had lived with over the years and had been separated through the way that slavery functioned. So this was, in fact, I read a statistic that the marriages among the slaves jumped enormously after Juneteenth, or after this declaration was
You mean they
made
couldn't
in
marry before
Texas.
or what?
They couldn't be married, they couldn't be legally married. There were marriages that were recognized
Within
by
their
the
communities,
parties
yeah.
Within the community, but they
Legally,
were not
they couldn't.
considered illegal marriage. So
I
you
did
could
not
be
know
mar-
that. You're the
Oh,
first person that has ever told me that.
Yeah. So you could marry someone and have children and have a family situation.
But you
and
weren't
then
legally.
someone out of your family there could be sold to someone else, sold to another state, sold miles away, sold, you had no idea.
And then you
where.
can't even keep in touch with them because you probably weren't supposed to write or read, right?
You weren't supposed to know how to write or read. You weren't supposed to be able to communicate. It was very slick, the way that
Yeah.
people's lives were limited by slave owners and by those who sympathized with and supported slave owners. So Juneteenth
It's an important day.
was a blend of June and 19th.
Right.
And it became known as Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And ironically, the biggest and first celebrations were in Texas. And,
No,
and
no way.
that former slaves purchased a plot of
Oh.
land which became the Juneteenth celebration ground that was there for slaves.
Well, they had the most invested in this. That's why it probably happened. I mean, because the
Right.
slaves, the ex-slaves, I don't know, what would you call, the people living in Massachusetts and stuff wouldn't have recognized maybe that it was such an important day, but those in Texas would have.
Right, right.
Yeah. But what happened in Texas spread through the United States.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how are you celebrating it? First of all, you're celebrating it, you're doing it on Friday, which is what, the 16th, I think.
Yes.
Then on Saturday, the 17th. Then we got Sunday, but the actual holiday is Monday, the 19th. Now,
Right.
that will change every year because it's not going to always be on a Monday. It's going to be whatever day
Right.
it is, right? It's like the
Right.
4th of July. It's going to be,
Yeah. Or like Easter changes every
yeah,
year.
yeah, exactly.
But
But it's always on a Sunday, though.
We'll have
Yeah.
the celebration that we organize
Yeah.
on the weekend, whatever weekend.
Whatever weekend
is
it is.
closest.
Yeah,
to the
okay,
19th.
good. So what are you doing then? Are you doing this at Central Park? You're not doing it at the
Yes.
museum anymore, are you?
No.
No, that was a
we-
big
we
event there,
outgrew
yeah.
the museum.
Yeah.
And,
We're talking the New York State Museum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're in Central Park. This year, we're going to open with a parade. We haven't done that before. We'll gather at the Rose Garden and parade.
Oh, from the Rose Garden, the tennis courts coming
Yeah,
on in. Okay,
right.
great.
And we'll parade over to the stage, Music Haven.
Okay, Music Haven stage.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's new this year, and any of your listeners are welcome to join in the
I'd love to stop
parade.
by there and see what's going on because there's everything there. You have vendors and you have the food, there.
Yeah.
So many.
And a whole day of entertainment at the stage.
Yeah.
The opening act is the Hamilton Hill Art Center, let me get the name right, Juneteenth Celebration Band.
Oh, you have a band
Which
because you have the
is
emoji
Azam
dancers and you have the drummers. Yeah.
We'll have the African dancers and
Okay.
drummers, Umoja. This will be their first big performance since COVID.
Oh, my.
They had stopped performing
Yeah.
during COVID, of course. And the kids in the group at that time have grown up. And so
You
we
had a
have
new
a new
group,
crop.
yeah.
So this will be the introduction of the new crop of dancers and drummers.
Great. And this is free and it's open to the public. And please
Absolutely.
come and enjoy the music and the people and all of the vendors. And they have sometimes they got the jewelry and they've got sometimes fabrics and things. I mean, every time I go is a little something different every time because
Yeah.
the vendors do change there.
And it's not too late to be a vendor. We're
Oh, you're
still
looking for vendors. Okay.
Taking vendors. And we're also having an art exhibit for the first time.
Oh, really?
And it's not too late to be in the art show.
And
So
where are you going to hold the art show in the
it will be a
gazebo?
fence show in the pavilion.
In the pavilion? I thought it would
Where
have
we'll
to be
be
undercover. Yeah.
Hanging.
Is this a rain or shine event?
Rain or shine?
Okay.
we all will pray for shine.
Yeah, well, it's, it is what it is. One day it's 90 degrees and the next day you wake up and it's 42. So who knows?
Right. But it will be rain or shine, hot or cold.
Yeah, it's going to be a
We'll
great
be there.
event. And I know that when I go there, usually I can find a parking place. It's usually not a problem to find. You may have to look a little bit, but you can
It'll
find a
be a
parking.
little more challenging this year because there is construction going
Oh,
on
okay.
in the park and
Oh, that's right, they're
that
putting a
is,
pool in, aren't they, or something? Or
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know,
they're
but
digging.
I know they're doing something.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I should get over there and look, and then I could announce it right here, right?
Yeah.
Mickey, it's always good to see you on the show. Say hi to Betty. I know she couldn't make it today. And Kenneth, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
Yeah, and I think that you're doing some good stuff with the community fathers as well. Yeah. Would you like to explain your shirt? Because people are going to wonder what that means.
So, dope black father. I just say, let's say dope as in addictive.
Okay.
I'm an addictive black father. I know my daughter loves me. I know the kids that see me as a father figure. I coach boxing. I have a landscaping business, so I employ a lot of the youth.
Okay.
With community fathers, we partner with the city of Schenectady.
Do you work with Ring of Hope
Yes,
as well?
I'm the
Okay, good.
coach.
Yeah.
So with community fathers, we partner with the city of Schenectady, Retreat Schenectady, and SJTA. So we've planted over 200 trees throughout Schenectady, and that's my youth employment. So as a child, my father wasn't around. So my mom was my mom and my dad. So on
She
Father's
did a
Day,
good job.
my mother got cards.
Yeah.
So a father was what I was missing. So a father is what I am to not only my daughter, but a lot of the youth in the community. We coach boxing at a bunch of different middle schools and high schools. And again, like I said, the father figure was missing from my life. So I try to be that in the lives of others. And people know if you got a good father, you know how you feel about them. You're addicted to them. You love them. They're dope. They're it. They're the energy that you need. So that's just what my shirt stands for.
Yeah. Thank you. I wanted to address that because I'm sure someone might look, what does that mean? Because I did that, right? I
Yes,
said, what does
ma'am.
that mean? Yeah. So I want to thank you for what you do. And, I think that we need dads.
Yes, we all do.
Yeah, good. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you
And
for having
have
us.
a wonderful
Such a pleasure.
event. I'll see you there.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm going to switch right over here because Circles of Mercy comes on, but they're usually talking about those horrible things called taxes. We're not talking about taxes today, are we?
No,
We
we're not.
lost a light, by the way. Does anybody notice that? The big light went out. So anyways, I just mentioned that. Go ahead.
Okay, how are you? It's good to be
I'm
back.
doing good, Richard. It's good to see you too.
Thank you. Here to talk a little bit about Circles, about the history and the programs that we do, and then a little segue into our signature fundraising event,
Yeah, Taste of Mercy.
Taste of Mercy, which will be on June 14th
Right.
at the Italian Community Center out in
You
Washington.
got a good place?
Yeah, Eddie
Good
Shea.
food,
yeah,
too.
Eddie Shea does a nice job for us. But Circles is sponsored by the Sisters of Mercy. We have a 25-year tradition of providing hope, hospitality, and empowerment to individuals in the Rensselaer community, with a focus on women and women with children. So we share the same anniversary, it being the 25th.
Okay.
For you, for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, the 25th year.
Yeah.
Oh my
What
goodness,
was the
where is
actual?
it?
Yeah, what was
Did
the
we
actual?
start out together?
Well,
must
we
have
started on September the 24th. When
Okay.
did you guys start?
September 14th.
Well, so it's
There we
within
are.
the week, yeah,
Isn't
so
that
pretty
something?
close. Yeah. Who would have guessed?
Who would have guessed?
Anyway, we
We'll have to get a birthday party going for the
Yeah.
two of us.
me, myself, and I. We provide services through linkage. You mentioned the free tax program, the VITA program. We do financial literacy training. We offer basic computer skill training, assistance with resume preparation and job searching, human resource referrals. We don't do everything. We have our little niche or niche of the programs. and
Where to
ser-
pass it on if you
Yeah,
need it. Yeah.
so we know who in the community provides those, so we make that connection for them.
How many employees do you have?
full-time, one,
That's what I thought.
me.
Yeah.
We have,
So when you're listening to all of this and you know this is the guy behind it.
but I'm well supported. I have
I know you do.
2 part-time secretaries.
And you have volunteers.
We got over 100 volunteers. I mean, I got, there are 30 volunteers alone just doing income taxes.
Yeah.
And then you figure the thrift store that we operate, there's 3 to 4 people, 5 days a week. So there's another big group of volunteers. So the volunteers, that part of my job is the volunteer recruitment, mentoring and retention. So
Yeah.
we-
And you need those volunteers. Volunteers are important.
Yeah.
Do you have board of directors that you deal with?
Yes, we have board of
So you have an
directors.
over.
Yes, so
yeah.
there's a board.
Oversight.
Right, that the Sisters of Mercy have to be present on. And then we ultimately report to the Institute leadership team down in Washington.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there was a merger of all the community agencies of the Sisters, like the Northeast, Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, West.
I had no idea.
Central America and South America. That's all under the what's called the Institute.
And the Sisters of Mercy, they were not a teaching order, were they?
Yes, they were.
They were a teaching
yes,
order.
They besides taking the vows of celibacy or chastity, one of the other vows that they take is vow of service. So the sisters provide a service, either education, healthcare through the sick,
Nursing. And,
right,
yeah.
or to the poor.
Okay.
So those are the 3 areas that
Okay.
the sisters are working in. So I mentioned the thrift store. We provide clothing grants to clients and families that qualify. We operate Kate's Kids and Baby Blessings Closet, where we give out layette sets. And then we hook them up at the police station so they can get car seats,
Oh, that's
carriers
nice. Yeah,
for,
yeah.
for the
Because
baby.
that's the worst part is you got.
Yeah, and then because of the way the food stamp program is written up, they're not allowed to use anything that's not a food.
Yeah, so they can't get diapers.
They
right?
can't get diapers, they can't get wipes, any of that stuff. So that's another resource that we provide to the community.
Yeah, there should be a secondary thing to food stamps where you can get some personal, like hygiene products and things
Well,
for kids.
most of the food pantries in the area try to step up and provide that. But we step into that and try to at least have them come in on a monthly basis
Yeah.
to
Okay, that's
get those
good.
things. Now, you talked about volunteer service. We're always in need of sharing, people sharing their time, talent, and treasure. As I mentioned, we're always looking for clients, or we're always looking for volunteers for the thrift store, the closet, the tax program. You mentioned the board, so we're always looking for people to step up into a leadership role and serve on the board of trustees. And then we're always looking for mentors to
women.
for the women, to help
Yeah,
them out
yeah.
and support them. Community service actions, as one of the public faces for the Sisters of Mercy, I talk to many in the community about what they can do to help us. So one of the first things, obviously, would be donating diapers and wipes, baby clothing, gently used children and adult clothing for the thrift store, so that we have
And when can they drop that off to
they
the
can
store?
drop that off Monday through Friday between the hours of 10:30 and 1:30. And if
Okay, and
those-
now your thrift store just has clothing, or does they have like books and things like that?
We've got books, free shelf of books. We have small houseware items, dishes, pots, pans, utensils, glassware. We don't take anything electrical or
Yeah,
electronic.
that's just a
you know.
pain in the,
Towels, sheets, blankets, comforters, those kind of things that we have.
okay.
Then there's three big programs that we're always looking for volunteers. We'll be gearing up for the summer for back to school. So we'll be collecting back to school supplies.
Okay, good.
In the spring, we do our Easter basket program, which was just phenomenal this year. There was over 300 baskets donated. So that made a big impact on not only Rensselaer, but it was shared with other agencies in the city and outside.
So this is why you're having a fundraiser.
That's right. So what we try to do is, the way we set the budget up is that we plan 3 fundraising events each year. The Taste of Mercy Gala is our signature event. It's going to take place, as I mentioned, on June 14th. We're going to be celebrating our 25th anniversary of being a ministry. This year, we're happy to announce that we're going to be honoring Jack Sweeney. Jack has been involved with Circles for at least 20 years before I started.
Amazing, yeah.
He started out as a board member, transitioned off the board, and serves now as our corporate treasurer. He's also a Mercy Associate. He's a graduate from RPI, so he's been local, retired from the state. I mean, he's just one of the greatest
And when you get a
guys.
jewel like that, it's
Yeah, I
just
mean, it's
such a
just-
treasure. Talk about treasures.
Yeah, treasurer. I mean, he really is, and he's done wonderful with us. I mean, not many nonprofits are, end the year with a surplus.
Right.
And with the exception of my first year, we have ended each year with a surplus. So we've taken that money and we've made some investments. So we've gone from
Takes money to earn money, I
money
guess,
to earn
yeah.
money, correct. So even though there's been hits with the market and stuff, we started out with like about 20,000, and I'm happy to tell our donors and benefactors that we're probably a little over $200,000 now. That we've
Goes
got
up,
some-
it goes down.
It goes up.
It
So
keeps going up. I tell people, don't panic, it'll keep going up.
it comes back
yeah.
up, so, we're along for the ride. But that's, when I'm applying for grants and I'm talking to a donor or benefactor, having that kind of financial stability means that.
Means a lot.
It does, and it's something that they want to support and participate.
They want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, should you wrap this up, because we're almost out of time. It's the 14th, it's at the Italian Community Center, Washington Avenue Extension, and how do they get tickets?
Tickets, just give me a call
Okay.
at Circles of Mercy, 518-462-0899. You can drop me an email at circlesofmercy@nicap.rr.gov.
And you have a website as well.
We got a website, so we'd love to see you, Ann.
Okay.
So please come as our
The
guest.
14th, let's see how my schedule is, but maybe I might be
You're
there, who
such a
knows?
busy person.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I guess I'm going to do a wrap up here because I got to tell you who's coming on next on the 21st. We have a great lineup there. We have the Blue Billies on, and Blue Billies on. We're a nominee for the Eddies, and they're going to be appearing on our show. We're so excited about that. The Harbinger Theater is here. We're going to be talking about the, I don't know if I've got this right, Amarak Youth. We're going to be talking about the Electric City Arts Council contest that's coming up. And the Schenectady Rotary is having their Corno fundraiser. So we got a lot coming up, and we hope that you'll join us again for that show. And please, you've heard from our wonderful guest today. Join in some of their activities and help support our community and the good things that the people are doing in our community. I'm Ann Perillo. I'm your host and producer of Capital Region Today. Thanks for joining us.